It's February 10th, 2018, and I'm hosting an operating session on my Rock Island layout. I'm going to give you a brief overview of what will be involved in this operating session. First, there's a briefing sheet that we go over with all the operators, and I've highlighted 5 key items on the list here. First one you'll see is that the normal position of mainline switches is toggle switch in up position. Be sure all mainline switches are restored to normal position when movements are complete. So all of my mainline switches do have a toggle switch to operate them. Next one is the maximum freight train speed is 50 miles per hour and the maximum passenger train speed is 60. I do have a block signal system and we comply with the indications of that signal system. All operators are to blow the locomotive horn for the road crossings, and then real important is to advise of any issues they have, if there's problems with the signal system or if we have any derailments or just general problems, to advise so that we can get those corrected and avoid those problems in the future. Next is the lineup of trains that we plan to operate. There are 7 mainline trains that we plan to operate, and you can see here southbound we show 4 trains southbound, and then northbound there are 3 trains. In addition to the 7 mainline trains, we will be operating 2 switch engines, one at Invergrove Yard and one at Armourdale Yard. And these switch engines will handle the switching duties and transfer runs between yards. Next up is the line chart, or a line chart that I've developed, put together, where mainline trains will meet opposing trains, since I have a single track railroad. I know this is kind of an eye chart, it's a little tough to see, and I don't think it's important that you necessarily can see the details here, but just suffice it to say that this is just something I use as a tool to kind of help me plan where I want to meet and pass trains, at least the 7 mainline trains that we're operating. Here's an example of the operations authority that's given to each train. This is a hybrid train order track warrant form that I developed for my layout. In this particular order, you can see that train 65 will meet train number 66 at MKT siding. Train 65 will take the siding and 66 will hold the main track for this meet. And that's shown on this form where you have the train number 65 here. This is who the order is issued to. And then 65 will proceed from Armourdale Yard to MKT siding, take the siding at MKT siding to meet number 66, engine 233. Finally, this is the wheel report that's used for setting out and picking up cars. I use a simple method for car handling, and that is, for each car that is set out, a similar type car is picked up. It's a 1-for-1 method. For example, if you set out a covered hopper at an industry, then you pick up a covered hopper from that same industry. On this wheel report, and you'll note in the upper right hand corner it says this is local extra 406 south. That train originates with 6 cars, and after setting out and picking up cars along the line, it will terminate with 6 of the same type of cars. Using this method eliminates the need to check and keep track of specific car numbers. It's a method that's not for everyone, but it works for me, and operators seem to like the simplicity of it. I actually got this idea from an article that appeared in the May 1984 Model Railroader, written by Jim Hediger. Okay, enough of the overview. Let's get on to the operating session. Alright, so at the operating session here we have 11 people today. Got Ole Melhouse here with the hat on. Ole's running this hot intermodal train. It's got some intermodal cars and some automobiles on it. John Ospelbachen. John's going to be running the local here in a little bit. This train, this intermodal train, is actually going into the Buckeye siding to meet an opposing train that's already at Buckeye.
We're doing new stuff. Alright, taking back $15.5 cars.
So we've got train number 66 here, heading north toward Inver Grove Yard, and Dean Ferris is operating that. Alright, we've got train number 68 here. Greg McComas is running. He's making a mad dash for Inver Grove Yard. Actually, Albert Lee, I think he meets a train there. Train number 67. Mike Tiedemann's operating it. He's heading to Des Moines to pick up and set out a couple of boxcars. Here's our intermodal train heading into Helix number 2. Going to meet another train here.
I'm going to assume I'm lined up.
And up on top is the opposing train where we're going to head into the Helix for the meet.
Such a line down here. Fixed line.
Alright, we got Mike Tiedemann here at Des Moines picking up a couple of cars, setting out and picking up off train 67.
I'm going to meet you guys here at Armstrong. So we want to, no, we keep going, we're going tonight, yeah?
Here's the local 406 South working at Albert Lee. That's John Ospelbachen doing honors with the local and the switching here at Albert Lee. So here in Armourdale Yard, got Jeff Brower and Jim Ost switching some cars and making up a transfer cut that they're going to run over to the CGW and the Union Pacific yards in Kansas City. And right here we got train 68 coming into Inver Grove Yard. This is being run by Greg McComas. He just finished running in from Armourdale Yard in Kansas City. Another successful trip. So here we're at the Minnesota Transfer Yard. We got Marty McCoy here. He's a switchman working with Wyatt. Wyatt's down there in the green shirt. He's the engineer on the Rocky Sioux Transfer. They've got a C-Line Baldwin locomotive here that they're using, number 393. And they're bringing over a transfer cut from Inver Grove. They're going to swap out some cars and pick up some others. Here we've got a Milwaukee Road detouring passenger train that has entered the scene, being operated by Ron Brooks. Passenger train is just making its way from the north to the south today. They had a derailment on the Milwaukee Road somewhere, so they had to run over the Rock Island.
Yard's pretty full. I think we better just pull the main and do our thing.
Here's Jim Aust and Jeff Brower. They've brought their transfer cut into the Chicago Great Western Yard in Kansas City. So they're going to set out and pick up some cars here from the Chicago Great Western.
Take a minute, 1325. About 2 cars.
This is train number 18, passenger train, called the Plainsman, leaving Minneapolis, Inver Grove Yard, headed to Kansas City.
So what do you stay on?
Got Chris King at the throttle, running it today. Here comes the Rocky Sioux Transfer back from interchange with the Minnesota Transfer, actually. Got a C-Line engine and a Rock Island Transfer caboose. There's Wyatt and Marty again.
One car. Hallelujah.
Number 18 is coming into Des Moines for a station stop. Nice job by Chris King. So we've got the Milwaukee Road passenger train now in the siding at Des Moines. He's going to meet train number 18, the Plainsman, here. And here we are at Nevada. We've got train number 18, the Plainsman, passing the local 406 that's in the siding. Here comes the transfer cut from Armourdale into the UP Armstrong yard. Gonna make some set outs and pickups here. Here's the local freight coming into Trenton, Missouri. Got a boxcar to set out and another one to pick up. Here's the local heading into the siding where he'll make the pickup and the set out. Operated by John Ospelbach. This is the Armourdale switch engine coming back into the yard after it's made its run over to the Great Western yard and the Union Pacific yard. So they picked up some cars there. They're coming back to
Jim, are you sure
put
we're
their train
live at
away.
10? I thought I did. Is that 10?
So now we're just doing what I call a free-for-all, where we just got operators running trains for fun. Toward the end of the operating session, what I like to do is fleet some trains in one direction so you don't have to worry about any head-on collisions or anything. So that's what we're doing right now. It's just running some trains for fun. We have 4 southbound trains running. The first one is a grain train operating here. He's got 40 cars of grain. Southbound train number 2. This one has F2A number 49 on the head end. Notice that the upper headlight is no longer in business. This was actually on the Rock Island, a locomotive number 49 that was in a wreck and lost its upper headlight, so they just did without it and had a lower headlight. And this locomotive lasted for many years on the Rock Island. Here's train number 3 of the southbounders. This one is a CB&Q train. A couple U-25Cs on the head end. Got a manifest freight train behind him. This is southbound train, the 4th one. Got Chicago Great Western, 5 F units. Dean Ferris running this train. Now we're running a fleet of northbound trains. Got an IC train here with 5 Jeeps on the head end, operated by Ole Melhouse. Second northbound train that we're running here is being run by Chris King. This has got the throttle here, and we got 3 F units on the head end, pulling a mixed freight. Northbound train number 3 is a Chicago Great Western. Got 3 SD40 units on the head end, 4 SD40s on the head end with a mixed train. It's freight train. The next northbound train we're running is train number, well, it's got locomotive 100 on the head end, so we'll call it extra 100 north. 4 CB&Q engines. Got some whale belly cement hoppers. Mike Tiedeman's running this one. And just for fun, we threw in a steam-powered freight train. being operated by Wyatt.